Drum and bass now has a hardcore worldwide fan base, but it comes from humble beginnings. Born from the hardcore scene, the genre is known for its fast breakbeats and heavy bass lines. It's taken many different forms across the years, beginning its life as sped-up hip-hop beats before evolving into so much more. To follow the journey of drum and bass, you must look back at the different influential forms it's taken, from the pirate radio stations of the 90s to the charts of today.
Right. Drum and bass has been a big part of British dance culture for nearly going on 20 years. Why do you think that is, that it's managed to keep going throughout the decades? What do you think keeps bringing new audiences to drum and bass?
Probably because it has developed over the years. Like, it's in the beginning it was a lot faster and stuff, but now you have like a whole lot of break of different genres from it. You have like liquid and stuff, and that attracts more people, so they get in, and like the more people get in, they stay in the scene because it's such a close community, so they all stay within the scene now, I reckon.
Yeah.
So that's probably good.
Do you think that it's important that it's come from, for example, like when it first started off, it was slowed down hip-hop beats, and it was jungle, and it brought the whole bad boy movement? Do you think that there's still a big culture of people who are following drum and bass and are interested in going out to the nights and finding out more about the music?
Yeah, I reckon like most people would, when they get a genre or something that they like, it'll stay with them for life. But things like drum and bass has such a close community, and then they seem to stick with it because sometimes you go to like these drum and bass events and a lot of the people that you see are a lot older.
Yeah, I quite like the fact that the drum and bass crowds isn't one where they turn their backs from other genres of music. So when people say they're into drum and bass, you can kind of tell that they're not just into one type of drum and bass or not just into drum and bass, because the way that drum and bass is marketed by like the record labels around it's quite transparent and open in a way that they like present their music. So it's not like trying to carve out a niche. They're just trying to appeal to a crowd of open-minded people, I suppose. And I think that's what like jungle and liquid drum and bass do so well, is that like it's quite an open-minded community of people. They don't really judge a tune based on like one particular element of it, one particular thing. They kind of look at its context first, which is something I quite like admire about the crowds.
The thing about drum and bass is you can go there as a student, you can go there as an apprentice, you can go there as a worker, 9 to 5 kind of job, and you go there and you're the same person, you're all equal.
Some of the many forms drum and bass has taken range from jungle, liquid drum and bass, and hardstyle. But by remixing some of the biggest artists, regardless of the genre, new pioneers like Keno, Everwood and London Electricity have managed to usher in the next wave of drum and bass. Demonised by the media and loved by the fans, the drum and bass community is at the heart of every track. To those attending, this is more than just music. It's a voice that needs to be heard. Aggression and possessions fall to the wayside as you struggle to fit in just one more dance, one more chance to feel alive and lost to the moment.
I suppose drum and bass was kind of a natural step for me when I was at school. Like, I was listening to like such a freaking wide variety of music. I didn't really know like what I preferred, I suppose, and I hadn't really been introduced to dance music at all at this stage. It was all just kind of like very superficial, like chai kind of drum, like dance music. And then someone introduced me to Adele's remix of High Contrast remix of Adele's Hometown Glory, and I was like, whoa, this is a really cool piece of music. Like, not just like this is a really cool dance tune, but like this is a really cool like interpretation of how music can be. But the people that listen to this kind of music, like, they're not really like bitchy or like horrible about any other kinds of music. They're open-minded and say like, although I don't like that kind of music, there are people that listen to it. That's great. But the community of drum and bass is just like, yeah, why not? Let's listen to this kind of
It's
stuff.
not just teenagers running about, and it's not this new genre such as like trap or vaporwave or something like that. So they like come, and it's like a genre that's been around for a long time, so they've came and stuck with it the whole
A true lifeline in British dance music, drum and bass allows both the DJ and the crowd to journey together. Whether you're flexing your gun fingers at hospitality or skanking with metalheads, the music will take you far away from what you knew before.
Into drum and bass music are first and foremost they love the music that other people write, so they hang around to work, like to listen to what they're up to, and they chat to what other people, like to find out what other people are up to. And secondly, they're basically like raver type people anyway, so they enjoy being in that environment. Like if they just turn up, do their set and go home, like just as it's an employment, you kind of, that dissociation between like a job and doing your passion, like it's a bit of a strange concept for me. Like, why wouldn't you hang around the environment that you find fun anyway?
Yeah.
And the guys that like Forever Graphics or London Electricity, all those are like the big guys in the scene. They're not really egotistical or like trying to push themselves to get famous or to get as many Facebook likes as they can. They're just there because they like playing to crowds and like spreading their music. So
Yeah. Do you think the way the media shows people, for example, there's a lot of chav stereotypes that are attached to things like drum and bass, do you think that puts people off, and do you think it's a fair representation of what it is?
Yeah, I think it would put a lot of people off, because when you see these events and it's like different people from different backgrounds listen to drum and bass, but the media like is going to attack any kind of new thing or thing that they don't understand. So when these new kind of genres develop, and especially because it was coming through at a time when Britain was going through such a, well, kind of still is such a like drug crisis. People were going into nightclubs, so they were taking drugs. This drum and bass came along at the same time, so things like it and rave and maybe like even garage, things like that kind of came after. People were always going to be tied in with that, so the media are always just looking for a story.
Yeah, so even if like the people aren't doing it, once that stereotype sort of sticks...
Yeah, it's made. Then once a stereotype is made about a certain genre, then that's going to stick with it.
For those brave enough to venture into the niche and beyond the norm, a world of drum and bass will await you. I can't promise you'll enjoy it, but it will definitely be an experience you will never forget. Support your local disc jockey, try it for yourself.
Listens to say drum and bass would dress a certain way. I think like if people like that certain genre of music, it would mainly be about the music, not really about how you dress. But because music is so influenced by art and fashion and everything, it just kind of comes along. So someone who's gonna like the way a person dresses will be more inclined to listen to their music than someone who, if they don't.
But I would say like my favourite moment in my career so far as keynote would have been quite recently. I wrote a tune called Perspective, and I haven't finished it yet, and it hasn't got the vocal the vocal hasn't been finished, and it's like it's only just in the bare bones of a tune, but I've been spending so much of my time trying to work out what I wanted to do with drum and bass music, like why I wanted to write this genre, but I spent so much time writing music based on trying to be emotional or trying to get my orchestral sound as fitted into drum and bass. I was just like, well, actually, it doesn't really matter as long as you enjoy the process of making music. Your tune's always going to be great. Like, it's always going to be, if you have like that one idea that's just really clean and comes across really, really, really well, and people are going to get onto that. So I wrote this tune called Perspective, which only has